The IRS is panicking because an increasing number of American people have awakened and are not filing 1040 income tax, slavery confession forms, or paying income tax in record numbers. I'm Paymon Motahede, the president of Freedom Law School at freedomlawschool.org. Let's go to this very important topic that affects you, your life, and your family. Number one, you need to know this. IRS uses psychology to deceive you to believe you are weak and that they are strong. This is all a Wizard of Oz show that the corrupt major media has produced for the system to keep you as a slave. Okay? To make you believe you are weak, just like Dorothy and her friends in Wizard of Oz. And how have they accomplished that in more detail? Well, very simply, okay, they have brainwashed the American people with the control of the media, charismatic preachers, okay, and also the tax practitioner community have been deceived. The accountants, enrolled agents, CPA, tax attorneys, bookkeepers, that, hey, you better file 1040 income tax, slavery confession form, otherwise you'll be in trouble. They push your fear button, stress button. They tell you to pay your taxes, all kind of psychological games. Well, here's the truth that they don't want you to know. The number of Americans who do not file those 1040 income tax, slavery confession forms is overwhelming. It's about 80 million people based upon the best estimates of the IRS itself. Okay, this is a letter. Okay, September 24th, 1998. Okay, I'm going to zoom in for you a little bit. Okay, and in this letter that you see was written to some guy in Oregon. Okay, what does it say? Well, what it says is quite shocking to the average person because it's so hard to believe that that could be the case. They're saying that based upon the 1996 tax filing program of the IRS, they estimate there are approximately 63 million Americans who have not filed a tax return and initially would appear to have a legal requirement to file a 10 for income tax confession slavery forms. Okay. This information estimate is based on data available to the IRS on their computers. Of course, there's not 63 million people in prison or 63 million people whose bank account and paychecks are stolen by the IRS, right? They just can't handle everybody out there. There's way too many of us and not enough of them. So now it was 63 million back in 96, 30 years ago. The number right now got to be at least 80, if not 90 million people who don't file those 10 for income tax confession forms anymore openly, okay? See, you got to know this, okay? This report came out in May 2020, okay? On the right, top right, high-income non-filers owing billions of dollars are not being worked by the Internal Revenue Service. Yep. In that report, it says that the IRS basically refuses to go after even extremely rich non-filers. This report, which is linked below right here, I have an exact page and a document all there, basically says in part that the U.S. Treasury auditors gave the IRS a list of 100 richest income tax non-filers who each would owe the IRS about $100 million for years 2014, 15, 16 combined. And recommended to the IRS to go after these people for taxes, maybe put them in jail, some of them, right? Get my taxes out of them, penalty and interest. And guess what? You would think the IRS would say, oh my gosh, we are so incompetent. You know, how can we let these big fish get away? They don't even file 1040 confession forms. They don't pay income tax. oh my gosh, yes, bosses, yes, we're gonna act together and come after these guys, collect the easy $10 billion for the U.S. government, right? That's what you would do if it was your job and he didn't do it right. But guess what? The IRS is so broken, disorganized, lazy, and irresponsible that the IRS utterly refused to commit to going after these extremely rich, high-income non-filers. That's in 2020. This report came out. This is a 6-year-old report. So what happened in 2015, IRS stopped going after non-filers. That's right. They left non-filers alone. You know, so because they said we need to handle people that need to make payment plans to the IRS. That's how bad IRS's situation was, okay? So as a result, so here we go. Let me get more from this report, okay? See, here it is. This is the IRS's lingo, the delinquency notices we have maybe for non-filers. Letters to non-filers were not issued for tax year 2015 because IRS paused the program in 2015 to realign resources to address challenges in the automated collection function system. This is the one answering phone calls of people who owe the IRS money and are calling to make a payment plan. That's what they're really saying. The report has this in more detail there for you, okay? What else does the report says, okay? IRS in the past, okay, focused on tax compliance of high-income individuals because their non-compliance, that means them not being slaves, right? Not filing 1040 confession slavery forms, not paying income tax, right? Okay, can have a significant corrosive effect on tax administration. What they mean by that corrosive effect, that means people are going to say, hey, these guys not paying. Why should I pay? Right? That's a good point. Why should any of you pay when there's no law requiring the people of the 50 states to file a federal income tax to begin with? Okay? So, and they say that intentional non-filing of tax returns by those with significant financial resources and sophistication is a brazen form of non-compliance. You better bet you it is. Yeah, that's right. The founding fathers were brazen too. And look where they got us. They had the most glorious freedom revolution in the history of mankind. And preserving your God-given rights. And rights that were given away by our ignorance of the law and the Constitution. How our public servants are working. Yes. We're not complying because we don't have to. We're voluntarily complying to be a slave, but we don't have to be a slave to begin with, okay? So, so again, in these reports, you know, they kept saying, according to IRS procedures, high-income non-filer cases present a high compliance risk. Therefore, these should be typically selected for review and issued a notice. I mean, some kind of a letter. Hey, slave. Be a slave. We're going to get you. Be afraid. We're going to get you with the IRS, okay? And that has worked in the past. Let me put a cartoon. Can we put the Hopper cartoon up for them now, okay? I'm going to put you guys a cartoon from The Bug's Life, this cartoon, that shows us grasshoppers are the IRS, deep state, the corrupt system, and with the people are the ants. The little ants they're talking about, that they suck our wealth by deceiving us that we have to be slaves of these big ants that appear. So they're bigger than us, but there's so much less of them and so much more of us. Okay, so let's play this short clip because that's give you the concept of what I'm trying to share you about them versus us, that we outnumber them immensely. We're just going to wake up, stop being slaves, have you be more prosperous, and America be free. Let's go for it.
You're right. It's just one ant.
Yeah, boss. They're puny.
Puny? Say, let's pretend this grain is a puny little ant.
Did that hurt? Nope.
Well, how about this one?
Are you kidding?
How about this?
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up.
Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life.
It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line.
Yeah, you ants to them. If you ever figure out that there's about 80 million Americans who don't file 10 for income tax confession forms, and too few of them, and we don't want to pay the Epstein gang billionaires any more money to enslave and destroy us, get all these wars that we don't need, okay, instead of focusing on America, reducing our taxes, letting us keep more of our money that it's ours to begin with, right? If you figure that out, there goes the deep state. They're gone, and you will be free. So you've got to recognize this, that you put the rope on your neck whenever you sign a 10 for income tax slavery confession form and give that rope to the IRS to pull down, ka-ching, and hang you. This is not just a cartoon. This is the reality. You got to stop filing income tax forms, the 1040 forms. Why? Because, folks, when you were deceived by your accountant, attorney to sign the IRS Form 1040 income tax slavery confession trap form, you put the IRS noose around your neck. How? Well, when you sign and file a 10 for income tax slave confession trap form, you state under oath that you owe the IRS money. That's right. You tell them you owe them money. You owe them nothing at all. You owe them zero legally. Zero. Until you file that 10 for income tax confession form under oath, you declare you owe the IRS money. I'm not kidding. This is a fact. I'll show you in a minute. This is how you give the IRS the power to audit you without a tax 1040 tax form. There's nothing to audit. Empty your bank account. Steal your crypto, steal your property, and even put you in prison. This all happens because you signed that 10 for income tax slavery confession form. There it is. There it is. Look at that. Did your accountant tell you when it tells you, sign here? Yeah. There's a big sign here. Does he tell you what this small print next to it says? Under penalties of perjury, sign is that it's all true, correct, and complete. What does that mean? This is a document that some accountant, bookkeeper, CPA, tax attorney prepared. Says, I'm the authority on the law. I know tax law. I know the Internal Revenue Code. This is the Bible of the IRS. You hire me, TurboTax, HR Block. I know the IRS, the Internal Revenue Code. Yeah. All this 10,000 pages of gobbledygook, tiny font, tissue thin, gobbledygook. But don't worry, I know it all. You can trust me. I have a degree from accounting school, CPA, or even tax attorney. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Are you impressed yet? Okay? But they don't know none of that. It's all pretend game. Did they ever tell you a CPA, tax attorney, turbo, tax, or HR block? Did they ever tell you what that signature means under penalty perjury? The form that's filled out by the accountant guy, but you sign. You go to prison for the form that he files. He should go to prison. He's the one that filled it out, the numbers, but you go to prison under penalty of perjury, which means throw me in prison if everything on this form is not true, correct, and complete. Yep. And on top of that, you also claim that you owe the IRS money on line 37. This is the form. Look at it. This is the amount you owe, the form says. And here it says, this is the amount that you owe. Here it is. You filled in a blank. And you signed it under penalties of perjury that you owe the money. Yep. So this is how they deceived us to become slaves through ignorance. And that ignorance, now you're afraid. Through fear, you allow them to rob you and make you a slave. So all that can't stop if you recognize the game they did on you, okay? You understand this, okay? I have on my website, freedomlawschool.org, this page called Progression of the IRS Letters, okay? And this shows you what the IRS have to come after you on this form if you don't fill out a 1040 income tax confession form. If you don't confess to the IRS money, guess what? They have to actually come after you. Yes, you do not owe the IRS anything automatically. It doesn't matter that your employer sent a W-2 form to the IRS or somebody sent a 1099 form to the IRS about what they paid you. That doesn't matter. That does not make you owe the IRS even 1 cent. Okay? The IRS has to issue you, by law, an official letter called a notice of deficiency, which is on this form on the top center. Okay? This is a notice of deficiency right here in the center. We're going to highlight this, guys. Okay? So this is a notice of deficiency. Okay? And then all these procedures after that. See, before that, they on the left side, they do all this stuff on the left to scare you to file a tax return. These scare letters they send out to you, okay? But you shortcut everything, when you go to collection. If you file a 1040 form, you go right here to collection. Right here. This is collection due process hearing. Straight. But as a non-filer, you go back to step 4, step 5, all these other steps IRS must go through if you exercise your right. You can go to tax court and challenge IRS in tax court and even in a federal court of appeal. If you don't simply rat on yourself, don't put a rope on yourself, sign a 1040 income tax confession form, 1040 form under oath, and handing it to the IRS. You stop doing that, and you start your journey to freedom because there's 80 million non-filers to begin with. So knowing that, guess what? The IRS issues every year approximately 170 million notices or letters. Think about that. 170 million notices. These are forms. These are not letters that somebody sat down and crafted about you. There's nobody out there watching people that are getting 170 million letters say, oh, Charlie, I'm looking out for you, Charlie. You better file and pay income tax. David, you better file and pay income tax. Steve, you better file and pay income tax. Maria, you better file and pay income tax. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. No one's watching you. It's just a dumb letter to scare you to be a slave. That's part of the deception the IRS uses. On this form on the top left, these green letters, request for tax returns, IRS sending out increasing amount of these 10 for income tax big letters. They beg you, please send tax letters. These are phishing letters to get you to put the rope around your neck. 2/3 of Americans, folks, 2 out of 3 Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Probably you. You're 1 paycheck away or 2 from not being able to pay your rent, going to debt, not be able to pay for a car repair out of your cash savings. You have to go to debt with credit cards, right? So this is a problem that becomes much worse in our phony money system owned by the privately owned Federal Reserve banking system, private banks that make money in America out of thin air by fraud. Yeah, that's the root cause of the problem. Bottom line is that you cannot afford to be a slave anymore. And there's way too many Americans that IRS has to come after. So they don't come after non-filers because guess what? They don't have enough people to come after even the filers. That's right. So they send out these dumb computer-generated letters, 170 million of them, okay? And then you think someone's watching you. There's nobody watching you at all, okay? So IRS is sending out these letters called, we haven't received your 25 income tax return. These requests for tax returns. Please send out a tax return. file your tax return. We're sending a letter about filing a tax return, reminding you to file a tax return. Because they know they need to deceive you to put the rope around your neck by signing a 10 for income tax confession form under oath. Okay? And IRS is waking up to the fact that you, the American people, are wholesale, are stopping being afraid of the IRS, not signing those 10 for income tax confession forms. In 2015, over 10 years ago, they stopped. That's right. But because Freedom Law School has been telling you, the American people, hey, the IRS is not coming after you if you're a non-filer. Don't file. Stop income tax withholding from your paycheck, which I'll show you for free right now in a minute. Okay? And don't file. Okay? They got scared. They're panicking. Now they're sending out letters, like in this case, for 2025, which the deadline for file for 10 for income tax confession form by extension is October 15th. This letter is dated August 10th. What? August 10th. That's 2 months plus before the October 15th deadline for people to file a 2025 income tax confession form. But the IRS is so desperate to get you to be a slave, they are sending these letters prematurely. You could be one of those guys that says, wait a minute, I'm a real estate investor, I'm a business owner, I got stocks, bonds, crypto, commodities, all kinds of stuff going on. My accounting work takes a lot of work. I filed for an extension for October 15th, and this is August, not October 15th. Why, IRS, are you telling me you haven't filed a tax return when there's over 2 months left to go before I'm possibly required to file a 10 for income tax slave reform? Because IRS is so desperate to get you now to be a slave back again. That's what they're doing that. And again, these letters are, look at them. They're sent typically from the IRS's Austin, Texas computer. That's right, Austin, Texas computer form. And it's a form that our IRS notice. Look at this, CP59SN. They keep adding numbers and changing numbers, different newfangled version of these. And these are all, as you see, there's no name on this letter, okay? There is no signature on this letter. This is a canned, computer-generated, one-page letter. That's it. That's it. And guess what? They expect many of you, because you see on top of this letter, this name, IRS. It's really slavery. And you see this vulture on top of the page, on the top left. That will scare you. Oh, I'm having a heart attack. IRS is after me. Oh, IRS came after me. I better file those 10 for income tax slavery forms before they add more penalties and interest, before the IRS try to put me in prison. Nobody at the IRS was watching you to begin with. Yeah. So more Americans are discovering this, and so are you. So this shows panic by the IRS when it sent a letter so prematurely. They've never done that. I mean, they usually wait a year or two after tax return supposedly is due, maybe 3, before they would send it out to you. But now they're sending out these letters indiscriminately. 2020, 18, 19, 21, 23, 24, 25. Just send them out. Send out scare letters. American people, are you scared? Here's more letters. More letters. 170 million of them, maybe. But guess what? The gig is up. American people are recognizing, right? There's a law passed by Congress. Epstein gang billionaires, pedophiles who rape girls and children and far worse things, that Trump promised to release them. Congress passed the law, unanimous, except one vote, and President Trump signed on it. Half of that, those files were not released. Half that was released had all these blackouts. Okay? Not to protect the victim, protect their perpetrators in the files. And President Trump told Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene that Trump's friends will be hurt if the entire Epstein files were released. Oh, I see. These people are the ones above the law. You, for a little marijuana and stick, you go to jail for years, right? For a little small technicality, they come after you. Spend all this money and time to come after you, the little American slave to think of you. But the billionaires of Epstein gang, they're above the law. You just work for them. Just shut up and be a slave sheep. That's how they think about you. Do you accept that? Do you accept being a sheep slave of the Epstein billionaires who obviously brazenly are above the law? Politicians, Congress members, billionaires, all people connected together, right? See? So people are no longer buying this baloney that, oh, we have an American government that works for American people. Apple pie and the flag. You know, they're not working for you and me anymore, and people are catching on. So what you need to do is to stop supporting these crooks. Go to our website, freedomlawschool.org, and go under right, on the top center right area, on the drop-down menu, free yourself from tax withholding. Click on that, free yourself from tax withholding, and you're going to get this page, okay? And in this page, I show you exactly and specifically step-by-step to legally stop withholding or stealing a federal income tax from your paycheck by your boss, your company, okay? There's a video on the topic. I show it to you. Step-by-step instructions, sample forms, how to do it. If you have any questions not clear, you're welcome to call us at 813-444-4800. We're here to help you be free as American people, take back our country and take your money back that belongs to you to begin with, right? So, and then go again at freedomlawschool.org. You're going to see for yourself the law that based on the U.S. government's official legal websites, no law requires 99% of Americans to file and pay income or payroll taxes or corporate or state taxes. It's all there, folks, okay? So it's all there. Start with our videos as you drive around town. Put your smartphone in your car. Let it play these videos. Listen while you watch the road. And then when you get to work at lunch, watch it and listen to it. At dinner home, again, watch it and listen to it. To really get it in there. Oh, wow. Oh, I was lied to. I was deceived. But no more. I'm not stupid. I'm not a slave. I'm not a sheep. Once I see the truth for myself and verified, yeah, I'm going to be free. So you're going to go to freedomlawschool.org and watch more of the videos. And 99% of the time plus, you will be left alone by yourself if you stop filing and paying income taxes. That's right. 18 plus million non-filers out there. But if you want a 100% guarantee, a true guarantee, you can do that, but go to our website to step 6 or go down on the 7 steps to be free. Step 6 is an optional plan available for people like you who are of the mindset of America's founding fathers. These men put their lives, their fortune, their sacred honor on the line to provide the freedoms we'll still enjoy, most of it still today, substantially, okay? So, but all you gotta do is just join hands with them, okay? Come together instead of being alone, right? Come together. We're much more powerful this way. And we back each other up and put our funds to protect each other. One for all for one. And go ahead and drain this swamp because we support freedom, truth-telling media to wake up the American people more. Okay? To get people like Congressman Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene elected who represent you, the American people, not the big banks, okay, corporations, all the moneyed interests out there. Okay? So do you have options? And remember, tell someone else about Freedom Law School. Love and spread the truth. Okay? Be a Paul Revere. Call us. We'll send you our freedom brochures. Okay? That's right. These brochures we got, we send you free of charge. Call 813-444-4800. Restore Freedom and Fast Track Your Success. They're both in 10 pages show you why no law requires 99% of Americans to file pay income tax. 50,000 reward if you can show me I'm wrong, and I'll pay you if you put your name and phone number and someone joins. Okay, so it's all there for you, my friends, to bless yourself, your family, friends, coworkers, your community. Folks, my vision is a world full of live and let live, and love and let love. That's it. That's what I want. And I believe you want the same. You want nobody to oppress or force someone to do something they don't want to do. It all should be voluntary, based upon cooperation amongst people, not force. But I cannot help you be free without your participation. Without you choosing to be free and educating yourself, no matter what I say, it won't make a difference. You have to choose to go to freedomlawschool.org as you drive around, listen to our videos at freedomlawschool.org, and then call us at 813-444-4800. We'll do what we can to have you be free. As Americans, we get together, have America become once again a most glorious, free country in the world, example to the entire world of what life could be like the Founding Fathers envisioned for you and me. Thank you for being with me. All right, my friends, now I'm here to go over your questions. Any freedom questions you got. Some people mail us paperwork up to 10 pages for free. And I'll go over them here for you for free. Just email them or fax it to Freedom Law School or U.S. Mail. Call us. Make sure we got your documentation paperwork for the Freedom Hour. They'll have it in front of me right here. And I will go over them for you for free on this Freedom Hour every Tuesday night after 7 p.m. presentation I make Eastern Time Zone. The call number live is 424-552-1299. 424-552-1299. And then on your telephone keypad, you press 1, and you'll be next after the callers that I have here right now. We have right now, let's see, several callers. The first one is from area code 541. The next one is from area code 201. Then another one from area code 727. And then we have a web caller named Guy, okay, who's going to be going after them. All right? So, call from area code 541. Please give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please. Are you there? Call from area code 541. Please announce yourself now. Okay, we don't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Now I hear you, yes. What's your name?
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, my name's Craig. I had a question about...
Craig, how you heard about us first, and then your question, please.
Okay, I heard about you.
Yes.
Oh, golly. I saw you give a webinar or whatever on one of the shows I watched. I've seen you a number of times. News treason is one. I saw your interview with Marjorie Taylor Greene. But, yeah.
Okay. Very well, my friend. How may I help you?
Okay. I have not declared my freedom yet. Unfortunately, I went ahead and did my tax thing last year, but I'm very seriously considering not sending in the 1040 this year. However, I had a question about a required minimum distribution from retirement accounts.
Okay. What about it?
Do you understand? The government, quote, requires you to take a minimum distribution from your IRAs or your 401ks, et cetera,
Yes.
If you're not filing the 1040 form, are you required to take a minimum distribution
No.
from a retirement account?
No. You were never required to put your money in that account to be tax-free or tax-deferred because you never owed any income tax to the federal government to begin with as a citizen of one of the 50 states. If you were a citizen or resident of Washington, D.C., yes, all of these rules would have applied to you, but none of it applies to you.
Right.
So you have to put money in there, and you can leave the money in there or take it out as much or all as you want. It's your choice and discretion. You are free.
Or as little as I want, I assume.
Do whatever you want with it. Leave it in there or take it out, all or none. It's up to you. If you don't file a confession form, you're good.
My understanding is that the custodian has to report any distributions that I take to the federal government.
Okay. So what? Who cares?
So
what? Listen, most Americans have somebody send them a false W-2 form from the IRS to the IRS saying, hey, we gave this guy $50,000 of wages, or 1099 form. Hey, we gave this guy $100,000 of independent contractor income. So what?
Right.
The IRS doesn't use that information. Listen to me. IRS does not use that information to come after non-filers because they use a very tiny amount. Not even one-tenth of 1% even, because they have only 19 tax court judges. And as a non-filer, you have a right to challenge IRS in the tax court. Okay? So
now,
they don't have enough judges.
I had another.
Yes.
I had another question, Payman.
Yes.
I'm retired and I'm drawing Social Security, and I've always been the good little sheep and paid my taxes and stuff up until now. Is there any way that they can take away my Social Security or something like that?
Your Social Security? First of all, it's not your Social Security, number one. Let me make that clear. The money that was paid into Social Security back then, it was never saved for you. It's a lie. They spent it right away in rat hole of wars and corruption and criminality of the D.C. swamp.
Right.
And legally tomorrow, the Congress can stop giving everybody, give them no more Social Security. So it's not your Social Security. But bottom line is that, no, there's no relationship between you filing or not filing and continuing getting Social Security check. There's no relationship at all.
Okay. So in other words, you're saying that I'll still be getting my Social Security check?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good.
All right, Craig.
Yeah. Payman.
Yes.
You're the best, buddy. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you, brother. I love you too, brother. Thank you for calling. I appreciate you. Okay, before we go to the next caller, let's see. We got 201 area code caller, 727 area code, web caller, and then we have a call from area code 504, followed by a call from area code 310. Guys, be patient. Please, I'll get to you guys. Let me get to everybody as quickly as I can, get to all of you, help you all to be free, okay? Let's go 201 area code caller. Please give me your first name, how I heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hi, Payman. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Terrific. My name is Sherry. I go by MJ. You see in the paperwork my name says Sherry, but I go by MJ. And I've heard about the Freedom Law School. I did a search earlier in the summer for something that could shed light on the situation for me, and I came across your website. I did call you once before in July, so that's how I came across you, and appreciate your
Sherry Shokriye, are you Persian?
My ex-husband was.
Ah, that's where I got that Shokriye name. Okay, all right, the beautiful name you have there, Sherry. Let's see. I got your paperwork right here, okay? And what Sherry got, folks, is a dumb computer-generated letter, one of those 170 million automated letters IRS sends out to people. This is called the final balance due reminder, notice of intent to seize your property, to levy your property, okay? So, guess what? This letter is toothless. Over 90.
Could you say that again? Could you say that again, please?
Toothless. It just sounds scary. Be afraid. Oh, are you afraid enough? We intend to seize your property. Okay. Dumb computer form. They got the barcode on there on the top. Look, a barcode. You're just like a little sheep, like an item on supermarket. That's why I look at you. The looker's like an item in supermarket scan code her slavery account, the slave. Okay? This then means nothing. The $82,000 they claim you owe them, guess what? Means nothing. Because by law, IRS has you send you. Look at this. Understand the IRS's progression letters the IRS sends out, a guide to what to expect for peace of mind. This pink on the top right, that's collection stuff. On the right, all this stuff here. Final notice of intent to levy and your right to hearing. Your right to hearing, that's the key part, okay? Without this letter, they cannot seize your assets of any kind whatsoever. You can challenge them, ask for hearing. You can challenge the amount, perhaps, of tax they claim you owe them. The tax, maybe penalty, maybe interest. You can challenge it all at this stage. They rule against you, you can appeal that to tax court. Tax court rules against you, appeal it to the Federal Court of Appeal. Yes, you have rights on the law you didn't know. Now you know, okay? So this literally means nothing. It just sounds scary. The next one will become by certified mail and which says your right to hearing, that's the one to respond if they send one to you at all. They probably won't. Why? Because way too many Americans owe the money. They're going to come after all of you. And if they do come after even a small portion of you, you're going to clog up their phone lines, visit their offices, call their taxpayer advocate, call your congressman, and they'll further break down the IRS. That is why the IRS, okay, what they did, let me show it to you guys on the screen. It's going to blow you guys away. You're going to be happy to see this. The IRS, what they did, back in over the last 15 years, IRS has been leaving people that owe the money increasingly alone. Levy or taking of people's bank accounts and paychecks by the IRS has gone down since 2011 by over 90%. These are people that they already filed and owe the IRS money. Like you, I assume. Look at this chart. The green line shows on the top year 2010 and 2011. Okay, shows that these people, they did IRS did about 3.7 million levies of bank accounts and paychecks, and look by 2021 at the bottom, it's dropped down to 300,000 roughly, and remains about 300,000. They don't have enough agents to even answer your phone call. They know if they levy your bank account a paycheck, you'll be 2 out of 3 Americans on the street within 2 months. And you're going to be desperate to call the IRS, so they just leave you alone. So there's a good chance they will never send you that collection due process hearing letter, because if they do, they have to give you a hearing with the IRS appeals officer. They have less than 1,000. That's right. Less than 1,000 IRS appeals officer for the entire United States of America. They're already overburdened as it is. The cases are like sitting in there like, I got somebody asked for a hearing. It was a year later before the guy did a response back. So they're very likely going to leave you alone after 10 years from the time the tax was assessed. Probably you filed your 1040 slavery confession form. From the time after 10 years, it'll go away, 99%, and you'll be home free. You'll be fine. Did you file a 1040 income tax slavery form based upon this? Is that what it was based upon, this Hello? Sherry, did you file a 1040 form? She hung up? Okay, no problem. She's good then. Should we answer a question? Let's go next caller from area code 727. Area code, please give me your first name, caller. How you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please. Are you there from area code 727? One more time, 727 area code caller. Could you put him on again? He's not there. Okay. All right, you're not there? 727 area code caller? Okay, he's not answering. We're going to go to the web call. Let's go to the web caller. We have somebody from web calling us. Let's take his question right now. But let me tell you guys, after him is a 504 area code caller, 31 area code caller, and then a 21 area code caller after him. So hang in there, guys. I'll get with all of you guys. Web caller, I think his name is Guy, right? And you have a lock-in letter, I guess. Is that right, Guy? What you got? Are you there, Guy? Web caller? We don't hear him. That's 2 out of 2 now. We're not hearing. We don't hear you. Try one more time, Guy. Are you there? Should be, you know. Yeah. Okay. Or maybe he went to sleep too. We go to the next caller we have from area code 504. Okay? 504 area code caller. You are next, my friend. Give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hello, Payman. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, my friend. What is your name?
Don.
And how did you hear about Freedom Law School, Don?
Several years ago, I did a Google search and found you, and been following you ever since. And I haven't paid taxes probably going on 3, maybe 4 years now. Following your advice with the W-4 letter to the company and also sending it to my congressman. The question I have is there a way for me to have them stop taking out Social Security from my paycheck?
The only way is you educate your employer that they should not, by law, steal that money out of your paycheck as his patriotic legal duty he's deceived to do. Let me ask your employer, how big is he? How many employees approximately does your employer have? 10,000, roughly?
Yeah, probably 10,000 maybe.
Yeah. Unlikely you'll be able to convince the lawyers that work for the company that they've been ripping off the American people for years and years illegally, telling them the emperor wears no clothes. But the avenue to go is to get our petitions about withholding of Social Security and income taxes, send that to your company, to the lawyers to say, show me where I'm wrong. You need to stop taking money out of my paycheck. And what I suggest you do, tell other employees in your company about this. Hey, to stop income tax withholding. Eventually, more of you, 5 of you, 50 of you, 500 of you, can write the company collectively, hey, follow the law. Stop stealing FICA out of our paycheck. It should be coming out of our paycheck. That's the way to eventually get these bigger companies to stop stealing from employees' paychecks.
I got you. I was on the Social Security's website, and I saw they said to fill out a W-4V form. I never looked into it yet, but I didn't know if that was something that I should also do.
What for?
I just didn't know if that would help them
know.
stop taking it out.
Just because you come across a form, my friend, there's no way I know what the heck it is. These forms are not for people like you, okay? This is voluntary withholding request, okay? This is for unemployment compensation and certain federal government and other payments. Why would you want to voluntarily have money taken out of your paycheck? Right? Right off the bat, I say, no, I don't want to do that. Okay?
Okay. All right, that's all I had. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Don. Thanks for calling, my friend. We're going to go to the 310 area code caller. Let's see. Let's go try the guys. Let's give it a try. Maybe they're back. 727 area code. If you are there, this is your second chance. Announce yourself. How you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Payman. Hello, Payman. My name is Kevin, and I heard about you on Rumble. I was poking around at revocation of election, as in notifying the IRS in a proactive manner that I'm no longer a tax slave, and I ran across one of your recent presentations up there. So my question to you is this. I understand, or at least I've read through your website, not seeing revocation of election as in communicating with the IRS ahead of time that I'm no longer participating, I'm not a volunteer, on your website. So I'm thinking your strategy is more a reactive strategy, which is wait for the IRS to do something and then respond, rather than, so to speak, a proactive strategy of telling them I'm no longer your tax slave and I am a free man, and put them on notice. And help me out here. Is there like an A/B test you might have run in your decades of doing this, where you verified revocation of election is troublesome versus passively waiting for the IRS to say, "Hey, where's our taxes from you?"
Look, the revocation election that somebody had you do was as useless of an exercise as you go to the back of your house, clap your hand 5 times, go, hooch, 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 and it rains or doesn't rain. It's irrelevant. It's based on a false premise, false assumption that you were tricked into declaring yourself a slave forever, and now you have to revoke that slavery announcement that you made with the IRS. But that's not so. It's basic fundamentals of tax law that every 10-4 income tax form is a separate confession of under oath that you claim that you owe the IRS money. There's no relationship between one or the other. 1 year you could be a multimillionaire in Washington, D.C., owe all this income tax. Next year you could leave, owe nothing. Next year you could be even a homeless person in D.C., have no income, and pay nothing. So there's no such thing as you have to revoke this thing. So, but you did it anyways. It doesn't matter.
No,
Ignore it.
I've never done this. I'm just thinking,
just ignore it.
Which is the first step that I would be taking on this road? That's what I'm thinking.
Just ignore it. And then follow our 7 steps to be free of the IRS at freedomlawschool.org. And you'll be free. Very simple.
I appreciate you putting all that information out there and helping us people. Very much, sir.
You're welcome. My
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thanks for calling, Don. Let's go to our web caller. I think he may be back on. I think his name is Guy. I think he's calling about a lock-in letter, I'm guessing. Are you there, Guy? The web caller? Nope. He's not there. Okay. So before we go to 310 area code caller, I want to announce we have a 201 area code caller after him. Then we have another call from area code 559. Then another call from area code 210. And another call from area code 619. So 201 area code caller. I'm sorry, 310 area code caller. Please give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Yes. Hi, Payman. My name is Lynn, and I watched you on YouTube, various shows. It's just weird that it just came up. And they were like hour-long shows, so they were really wonderful. Thank you so very much for your work. I do have a few different questions for you. So the first one is the extension for this year. I filed it as a knee-jerk reaction, and I freaked out. So do I need to file my taxes this year in October for that deadline for 2025?
Nope. Now, you did a good thing.
Okay.
because you're not sure about all this stuff, and you have a right, you have a duty, Lynn, to check out and verify everything we tell you at our website, freedomlawschool.org, that you, as one of the people in the 50 states, are not required by law to file and pay federal income taxes. So go to freedomlawschool.org, take your time, and send those petitions to your congressman right away. Step 5. You need to send those petitions right away and confront. That's step 4 on our website. Confront them. Question authority. Hey, are these petitions wrong? Because you have a law in these petitions quoted verbatim from U.S. government's official legal websites and listed, attached, even highlighted the relevant language. Say, look, I owe nothing. I owe 0 income tax. I'm not a slave. But I'm willing to pay my fair share of taxes if you can show me I'm wrong. My House member and 2 U.S. senators. Do that right away. Okay?
Okay, perfect. I will. And I haven't had a chance to go through, so that will be my next course of action is to study your website, which I'm definitely going to do, 100%. I have another question in reference to this. So I do have back taxes that I owe. So it would be the same course of action, right? Just send them letters. I have to go through your website.
The back taxes you owe, sorry, you were deceived into confessing against yourself and believing that that's a safe thing to do, that, you know, through IRS not to mess with you. Well, I cannot tell you to pay him or not pay him because there's nothing I can do about him. But I will tell you this. As I showed everybody earlier, IRS is leaving people that owe the IRS money alone. Levies, bank account seizures, wage garnishments are down by over 90%. Over 90%. Okay. IRS is, this is not the IRS of the Joseph Stalin dictatorship day that will crush you dead if you don't pay. Communist Joseph Stalin will crush you and murder you. No, that IRS is dead.
So they're gone.
They're gone.
I love it.
15 years ago, they died.
Great.
Okay? So this Soviet Union communist entity called It's Really Slavery is dying. We're just going to expedite it to have you be free.
Yes. Okay, love it. Okay, so I have 2 others for you before we go. California taxes. Okay? So they kind of fall within that whole thing spectrum as well. I don't have to pay California taxes. Is that correct? I mean, we're talking about IRS, which is national.
Correct, but FTB is much more aggressive and organized compared to the IRS. So some people choose to pay them if they're wage earners. You know, they're sitting ducks. Now, I understand FTB has actually gotten weaker also. But I'm just letting you know that, yes, legally you don't know, but they're a communist, lawless state, California. So are you a wage earner or you have your own business?
Wage earner.
Yeah, you're more vulnerable probably than most. Yeah.
They do actually have the exemption as a box that I can tick. So let me look into that a little bit further, which I will study on your website. And then last question, because I don't want to keep it too long. I have a friend that is actually a national now. Do you think that actually helps? Because that might be my next course of action to become a national, so that you are no longer, you know, part of, I guess, the state, quote unquote, so you wouldn't have to pay taxes. Is that correct?
You are already a U.S. national, U.S. citizen, and state citizen to begin with. This is a bunch of nonsense again out there that you have to do something to be different than you are, your status. As not a U.S. citizen, but a U.S. national instead. No, you all those things already. Doing that will do nothing at all whatsoever. You're fine the way you are. You don't need to change anything.
Okay, beautiful. I think that's it. I don't want to keep you too long, but you answered all my questions. I love it.
Tell your friend about Freedom Law School, okay? Out of revocation of election.
I did. I just sent them. I sent them your web, whatever. I just shared it to both of them right now.
Very good, very good. Thank you for doing that, Lynn. I appreciate you.
Of course. You're welcome. Have a great day. Thank you.
Same with you, Lynn. Okay, let's see. We got 201 area code caller, 559 area code caller, 2 one row caller, 619 area code caller, and then another web caller is joining us afterwards, named Lee. Okay. So 201 area code caller, please give me your first name. I heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hi, Payman. This is Sherry. We got disconnected when you were helping me about 15 minutes ago. Do you remember me?
Yes. Yes, Sherry, go ahead. I answered your question.
We got disconnected. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, you're good on that letter. Don't worry about it. Yes.
You were talking to me about the seizure letter, and then we got disconnected. So I did hear you say it was toothless, and
yes.
That the letter telling me I have a right to a hearing would come first. But I noticed it was about 4 weeks. This came very quickly, this letter. It was about 4 weeks since the previous letter, and the previous letter was on your chart of progression of letters. It was step 6. This looks like it's step 8 or 9. Is this significant?
No. The reason you got those letters quickly, like this one, is because they're all junk mail. No requiring human involvement. There's just computer just prints it out, it mails it out to you. The one with the right to hearing, you have to take the time. They have to give you the time of IRS appeals officer. Oh, that they don't have enough. IRS appeals officers are the most experienced, knowledgeable IRS employees. A lot of them are ignorant anyways. But they take a human being that has been some training at least. And they don't have enough of those agents. They have less than 1,000 IRS appeals officers. So they don't send that letter out because they cannot handle the volume already of the people asking for collection due process hearings. So there's a good chance.
Okay, so even though this, I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
They may not send you one of those letters at all, period.
Okay, this one supposedly came certified. I sent you also a picture of the envelope, because when I've gotten something that was legitimately certified, or I've mailed certified letters, I had to put that green postcard thing on it.
Right.
Is this the way they send? Is this legitimately a certified envelope?
Yes. This letter is sent out by certified mail, but doesn't matter. Legally, it doesn't mean anything as far as the IRS taking your stuff. You're still protected. They cannot take anything at all from you until it's sent out the letter.
From here, I don't do anything from here. I
That's
just
right.
wait till I progress on the chart of letters still?
That's right.
Okay.
Enjoy your life. Have a good day. Have a good night. Spend time with your family, friends. Love. Live. Don't worry about those things. You're good. Yep. Look at the chart. You're fine until they send that, letter, the collection due process hearing opportunity letter on the chart. The letter on the top right, that's the one they got to send you right to hearing. This one. Okay, until then, you relax, you're all good.
What do I do if I get that one, since I'm only one step away on your chart from that one?
You ask for a hearing within 30 days, as it says. You ask for a hearing within 30 days, as the letter says, and go from there forward. But you may consider want to join from here on forward the Restore Freedom Plan if you're concerned about what the IRS might or could do to you. If you do that, if you join the Restore Freedom Plan, you're 100% protected. All the legal work will be done by Freedom Law School. All the letters to the IRS, IRS appeals, tax credit appeal, all that stuff will be done by us. Attorneys, if needed, we'll pay you. Okay? So you have that option, so you don't have to worry about it. But this one, it would be a pre-existing extra charge if it gets there. But you must be a member of the Restore Freedom Plan if you want us to help you with this situation, if it comes down the road, let's say 6 months or 5 years down the road. An extra charge.
Okay, so now you see where it says step 8 on your chart. That's what I got just now.
Yes. Correct. You got the urgent letter.
So don't do anything.
Well, Rosa live yesterday. It means nothing. That's right. That's what you got.
Okay. So I thank you for your help, and I have a feeling the next letter I'll be talking to you again. I have a feeling. Let's hope not.
And if you join the Restore Freedom Plan, you get unlimited consultation. Anything but the IRS comes up, state tax agencies, you get unlimited consultation, review everything you got, and guidance on that. So, but you can call here Tuesday nights if you want for free. That's your option. That's no problem. Okay?
Okay. Thank you once again.
You're welcome.
Have a lovely evening.
My pleasure, Sherry.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, 559 area code caller. It is your turn. Give me your first name. I heard about Freedom Law School. And then your question, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes?
Hi. Thank you so much for taking my call. My name is Josie, and I saw one of your videos on Facebook, and I was intrigued, and I am grateful that I ran into it, especially, being of a newer generation. I think it's important that we are aware of this so that we can continue to inform our people.
Thank you.
And my question is, I'm in the middle of a spouse sponsorship. Would it be a great idea to stop paying taxes in this case? I'm not sure if this is more of a legal question, but I thought I'd ask you.
In what case?
I'm in the middle of a spouse sponsorship.
Doesn't matter. Josiah, doesn't matter. Where do you live? What state do you live in?
California.
Okay. You're not a citizen or resident of the District of Columbia. Citizens and residents of the District of Columbia, they have to file and pay federal income taxes. The people of the 50 United States, United Countries of this Union, Florida, Texas, California, Nebraska, whatever, by law, you do not have to pay federal income taxes, no matter what you do. Could be wages, commissions, business income, crypto, real estate, rentals, commodities, stocks. It doesn't matter what kind of money. What matters is, where are you from? If you're from country of France, pay French taxes. Country of Egypt, pay Egyptian taxes. Country of the District of Columbia, federal government, pay income taxes there. You don't owe that in the country of California. Okay?
Okay. And now I did file an extension, so I have not filed the last year's taxes. What would be the next step in this case? Just not filed?
Educate yourself on our website, freedomlawschool.org. That is your next step, okay? To verify for yourself that you are not required by law to file and pay federal income taxes. That's your next step. Just go to our website, freedomlawschool.org, and educate yourself. And then be sure to go to step 5, mail those petitions, which are available for free at freedomlawschool.org to your congressman. Okay? Make sure you do that. Okay? As soon as possible, because that shows your good faith attempt to clarify and your rights and duties for taxes on the law. You wrote your lawmakers about it. They cannot refute you because you're right. Okay, they cannot refute you. So that shows your good faith. With that, you are safe. They'll never try to even put you in prison. Keep a copy of those petitions in your files forever. Okay, signed copies with a certified mailing receipt. Okay, you can do it on your own for free if you want to. 99% you'll be left alone. If you want a 100% guarantee, the Restore Freedom Plan option is also available.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome, Josiah. Thank you for calling. We're going to go now to 210 area code caller. You're live, my friend, with Freedom Law School. Give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hey, Payman, how you doing? My name is Jonathan.
Speak up, I can barely hear you.
I'm actually...
What's your name?
My name is Jonathan.
Donovan Jocelyn? I didn't hear that. You come from sound like from a...
Jonathan.
Jonathan, okay. Get close to the microphone, get off a speakerphone, or if you're something like that, you're on, so I can hear you better. Put the phone to your head, please.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, Jonathan, go ahead, huh?
So I am actually a Freedom member. I signed up this year, and I don't pay taxes anymore. And I heard about you through a post on X, and I started doing some research, and then I joined back in March. So thank you for everything you do. I have my question that I have is, I have a couple of children who are getting ready to go into the work field, and I just was hoping to get some advice on what they should be doing. Do they need to do what I did and send the letters to Congress and when they apply for employment, do they check exempt, or what is your advice on that?
Okay. Well, first of all, yes, they should study the website, know about the law and the rights. And yes, they should do our form on our website to stop the income tax withholding from the paycheck. That's available for free on our website. Yes, they should be doing that. They don't have to become a member. They're very low income. They probably make the minimum under $14,000, $15,000 anyway, the minimum exemption amount, according to IRS even. So don't need to send the money to me, to Freedom Law School. They need every dollar, so they can just do it on their own for free and no problem. So, but be sure that they do the petitions as soon as possible, okay? To the Congress member,
yes, sir.
And keep record of that in the computer records, paper records. Do that, the petitions, because that will protect them. And the biggest for right now, just educate them and let them know this is their time as a young person to know about the law and the rights. We turn 18 years old, and what happens? We're dumped into a big, bad world of adults. We're told, hey, you're no longer a kid. You're responsible for your actions, not your parents. And we go and say, but I don't know about my law and my rights. I just know not to hurt people. But I don't know about the IRS or things like that. What do I do? Well, this is education that should have been given to you in or before high school. So go to our website, freedomlawschool.org, and we have a level 1 course on our website. How do we get there? We have a link to that. We have on our website the level 1 course I did, over 25 years ago. You got to, everybody should educate themselves. So just educate them. That's all I have to worry about. And do not just file exempt. They should fill out the form with instructions on our website at freedomlawschool.org. Do that process correctly, not just W4 exempt. That's not correct. That will not protect them from the IRS potential criminal attack down the road. Okay? Any other questions?
Yes, sir. No, that was it. So do you recommend them signing up for the program as well?
I recommend as an option, especially for low-income people, like young people like them. They don't make that much every dime, I'm not trying to take people's money, because I know inflation is really hurting people out there. I mean, young people are generally poor, living paycheck to paycheck. So, they don't really need to, and it really depends. If they want to be part of the freedom movement and take part in it, they can join the minimum membership. It's $2,000. It's 30% what you would have with the IRS. So they can go to the calculator on our website, see if they want to join. The first year membership, by the way, because you get the referred to us, half of their membership would be your referral reward. If the membership is going to be, I assume, $2,000 minimum, the $1,000 you get for 50% referral, you can give it to, I imagine, to your kids as a gift. So their membership would be only $1,000. So if they get a first year membership for only $1,000 only, if you want to help them with that as a father, that's your option also. Pay all of it or part of it for them, and we do the petitions for them. We call them, let them be available, help them educating them if they listen to us, maybe more than you. We'll try that if necessary. We'll do what we can. They want to stay after us, they can. If they don't want to, they don't have to. But they're so low income, they don't have to join at all anyways, So it's just a choice. Consider it, discuss it. You're welcome to call us, talk to one of our people for more particulars, but especially if they make much money, don't worry about it. Not right now, but do the petitions right away and educate themselves on our website. Okay? But on our website, by the way, if you go to fearlawschool.tv, we have more courses, folks. Fearlawschool.tv, okay, I have on the top right, Freedom Law School courses. And you got to check it out, everything there. There's good stuff out here that you really need to know, that educate yourself. Have them watch this sometime on their own.
Yes, sir. And I've been looking at all those videos and reading all the stuff, so it's been very useful and helpful, and I do feel more free, definitely.
All right, my friend. Thanks for calling. I appreciate Jonathan. Jonathan, you remember,
Thank you, sir.
as a Restore Freedom Plan member, you get unlimited consultation with my people here. If they cannot answer your question, I'll step in if I have to. Yeah, but you're welcome to call here also if you want to, but you don't have to. Just so you know that, because you got that unlimited consultation anyways, my friend, okay?
Yes, sir. All right. Thank you, Paimon.
You are most welcome, Jonathan. Thank you for taking part and joining hands with other patriots like yourself to restore freedom in America by joining the Restore Freedom Plan, my friend.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. 2 callers left right now. Area code 619, area code caller, and a web caller if you want to ask a question. Get on the list. The number to call is 424-552-1299 and press 1 on your telephone keypad. 424-552-1299 and press 1 on your telephone keypad if you have a question. 619 area code caller, please give me your first name. I heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hi, Mr. Paimon. My name's Kyle, and one of my good friends, Rob, was telling me about you, and I watched you on a podcast. Gosh, I think it was Kim's podcast on Rumble about a year ago, and I've just been diving deep after the MCG interview. I just saw all the good information you have on your website. I'm 100% going to send off these petitions. I don't want to be a slave anymore, and I appreciate everything that you're doing. I did have a specific question for you. When it comes to sending these to my representatives, I have 2 addresses. One is the address that's on my driver's license, and when I was voting, that was where my ballot was being sent. But for the IRS, I use a different address. I was wondering which one of these addresses I should put on here, if it even makes a difference.
It makes no difference. The point of it is that you write to a lawmaker that's supposed to represent you and your interests in government. You have the most direct relationship with that your House member and your 2 U.S. senators. Okay, so you write to these 3 people. And you could use your work address, home address, parents' address. It doesn't matter. But you attempt to do that. You choose which one you want to use that's most, makes sense for you the most, and you get the mail back. That's all that matters. You good.
Okay, I really appreciate that. I have one other question because I'm pretty young and I'm not so familiar with, like, hard mail. And probably the post office could answer this question, but I'll still ask it to you. On the petition here, it asks for the mail certificate number. Do I get that from the post office, like after I bring them the letter? Do I buy it or something like that? I'm just not, it might be an ignorant question, I'm not sure, but I'm not,
That's no problem. Well, at the post office, they have a certified mail slip. Okay, it's a green and white slip at the post office. They always have it there, okay? I'm going to put it on the screen. That's what it looks like, okay? So there's a sample you see on the screen. So they'll provide to you free of charge. Here it is. Make it bigger. Here, there it is. One of these slips, they'll give it to you for free. You fill it out and follow the instructions of the post office clerk, and you'll be just fine, my friend.
Okay, and then there's going to be like a number on there, and then I put that number on the first page where it says mail certificate.
Yes, there's a small portion on the left side. There's a part that mailman will give you as your receipt, and keep that receipt also along with that. The mailman will give you the part that belongs to you, and the rest goes out with the envelope. The mailman will take care of you at the clerk of the post office. You'll be just fine.
Thank you, Mr. Paimon. I appreciate all you're doing, and I promise you I'm not going to be the only person I know that's going to be doing this. So thank you so very much.
Carl, how old are you?
I'm 27, but I'm getting a little late to the game. But I've been waking up the last couple of years, and I'm blessed to have the friends that I have that are. We all look out for each other. And one of my friends, Rob, is just so dialed in on this stuff. So he's like, "How you have to do this?" So here I am.
27.
Yes, sir.
And you claim you're late? No.
Well, I don't know. I feel like I probably. Well, you know what? There's no time like the present, right?
No. You are wiser and more awake than most people your age because you start looking for the truth at age 27 versus 47 or 57. Okay? So good job. Your friends should listen to you because you're a wise young man who actually searches the truth and seeks knowledge and wisdom. Good job. Give him a chance. Yeah, give him our website, freedomlawschool.org. Again, you can call us. We'll mail you free of charge these Restore Freedom or Fast Track Your Success brochures for free to hand out to them, or just text them our website, freedomlawschool.org. Send them our interview with Marty Taylor Green, whatever you want, and give him a chance to be free just like you are being, my friend. Good job.
Thank you, Mr. Payman. Have a good evening, sir.
Same with you. Thank you for calling, Kyle. I appreciate you, young man. We have one more caller, web caller. If you want to call after him, call right now. Area code 424-552-1299, and then press 1 on your telephone keypad. 424-552-1299, and then press 1 on your telephone keypad. If you have a question, we're going to go right now to the last caller we have right now, the web caller Lee, who asks, of course, you can be live right now. Where Lee, I'm going to read your question, sir. You send me. He says, benefit of creating a non-profit, then title all properties with that non-profit, then create businesses to maintain and fund the non-profit. Yes or no? Or best way to protect assets and not have to pay property taxes. Okay. You're asking more than one question. Okay. And the question is not as clear as I want it to be, but I think I know what you mean, but let me see. Okay, you don't need to create a nonprofit, okay? Because if you do, what you're doing, you're saying, hey, I'm subject to the Internal Revenue Code, and I want your recognition that this applies to me, but I'm exempt from the Internal Revenue Code because a section in there makes me exempt as a nonprofit. You're not a Washington, D.C. corporation, LLC, or trust entity to be a nonprofit. Doesn't apply to you. You don't even a nonprofit corporation or entity for Japan, for Algeria, for France. Doesn't apply to you at all. Neither does the federal taxes, income taxes of the country, of the District of Columbia, the federal government's seat of power. Okay, it's a country, just like California, Texas, Florida are countries. Okay, like just France and Germany are countries. Okay, so you don't need to create businesses to maintain and fund the nonprofit. I wouldn't do any of those games. You don't need to do that. No need. Why play these games at all? Okay, it doesn't do any good. At the end, if the IRS comes after you, I'm telling you, I've seen. And people do these things, the IRS will, and the Department of Injustice will cut to them like hot butter. Say, why'd you do that? Explain why you did that. Then you look bad. You could look like potentially somebody who's trying to evade his taxes. You did all this nefarious things, these schemes. No, just be plain open about it. Okay? If something comes up, the truth is always there, your protection. That's the best way. Now, you ask a different question. You say, or best way to protect assets? Well, asset protection is a whole different art by itself. You want to talk to someone who does asset protection? Depends from who, it depends on the kind of business you are. Okay? Or estate planning you might need. It depends on your age. If you're over age 50, you should do some estate planning. Okay? And, if you have a high-risk business like skydiving or deep-sea diving, you better have a corporation or some kind of a limited liability entity. So it depends on your situation, that you could do one. But you don't need to do one if you want to mow lawns for a living. There's no liability there for mowing people's grass. Okay, so depend on your business. You probably don't need one. Okay, maybe you do. I need to know more about your situation. Okay, and then, but as far as the IRS goes, no, you don't need that. If you don't file a 24 income tax confession form, you will be left with the IRS by IRS alone over 99% of the time. Anyways, that's right. And if you want to be 100% protected, you can join the Restore Freedom Plan, which is 30% of what you otherwise would have paid the IRS. So you have to keep 70% lion's share, and 30% goes in the Restore Freedom Plan to protect you and our members, and together we can work to restore freedom in America for all Americans. So those are your options there. Your next question is about best and not to have to pay property taxes. Whoa. That's a whole different question I do not specialize in. But I do know that much, that is different from state by state, country by country. America is not one country. We have 50 countries plus one. That's what the president gives every year. State of the Union address. We are a union, not a country. That's why the corona hoax lockdowns were done state by state, country by country. California, New York had hard lockdowns. Okay? Florida had a little bit, and they dropped that too. Because it's country by country. Okay? America, every country does it a different way. Same thing with property taxes. So depending on your state, there are different ways to go about it. Now, some people I know, they're claiming out that you want to do a nonprofit or church to be exempt from taxes on real estate. I'll recommend that kind of gimmicks or games. Okay? Why do that? Okay? So I don't recommend that type of thing. And again, even if you want to do it, depends on the state. It is state law anyways. All right? Lee, have any more questions you want to ask right now live? Ask right now. Otherwise, I'm going to go to two other calls we have right now waiting. Any questions you got, Lee, besides that?
I can't. There's no volume, so.
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead. What's your name? Lee, right. Any other questions, Lee?
Hi, yes, it's Lee, and I found you from Slave Nation, the movie. I recommend everybody watch it. I tell everyone to watch it. And person who's 27, you're so far ahead of me. I'm 63. So, yeah, bravo for getting it together at 27.
Yes, I agree. Lee was able to answer your questions. Do you have any other questions you want to ask of me?
Yes, Simon, and I'll have to. I'm going to go through all the steps, and like I said, I just found out about you, and because I do want to. The properties are absolutely crazy, and they keep going up and up and up. And if there's anybody on here who's from Wisconsin, I don't know if you have a group by state, but it sure would be nice. I feel like I'm kind of an alien from a different planet. Once I start talking to people about this, they look at me like I'm speaking Mandarin or something. So yeah, I'm hoping I'm going to be able to find some like-minded individuals who can go through this journey with me. So.
You're Wisconsin, right? Yeah, well, just keep looking. Go to freedom-oriented meetings online and find people locally. They're hopefully they're freedom-minded, but call us. As a member, we try to turn you on to other people locally if you want to do that. So if you're interested, you can do that optional, so we can try to put you in touch with other people in your area that you may want to form a local group. That's fine. We encourage people getting together.
Great. Thank you so much, Damon.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Thank you for calling. Lee, okay, we got two more callers, another web caller. We have right now Dylan, and then after Dylan, we got an 818 area code caller. So Dylan, how you heard about Freedom Law School? And then your question, please. About filing exempt. What about filing exempt?
Yes, I came across it because I was listening to a video about Joseph Bannister and listening to his whole thing that he went through, and I believe he mentioned your name, and I started looking you up and researching it a little bit, and I'm still researching it, but have a question. I am going to go through the steps, but I started filing exempt about 2 years ago, and that's all I've done. I still need to send the petitions, but I know previously you told the other caller that that's not the best way to do it, correct?
Not just exempt. You do the right way on our website. Because here's what we do on our website. Exempt technically means that you are covered by the Internal Revenue Code, but there's a part that exempts you. This doesn't apply to you at all, the whole thing. But what we do, we use the exempt form because the employers in America generally are deceived and they force you, put a gun to your head. Sign a W-4 form, otherwise I'll take 30% of your paycheck. 30%. So to take less, you have to fill out the form under duress force of your employer. Now, you fill out the form and say, look, I'm doing this under duress, under force of pressure of my employer. He'll fire me or take 30% of my paycheck. But we have a law that we believe in that we're not even required to fill out the W-4 form at all to begin with. We're not required to file income tax to begin with. We have that on our form, mentioned and attached, so that if the IRS ever is dumb enough with the DOJ to try to put you in prison, you have that garlic for the vampire of the law attached with your W-4. Before they try to get you for, stopping the automatic withholding, tax cheats, other people pay more, the law is right there to say, no, I'm not required to file and pay income taxes. Neither are any of these jurors you gathered up here to try to be put in prison. These guys are innocent. They're being ripped off just like me, and they don't want that to happen. They don't want you to win and wake up the jurors to join our movement. That would be terrible publicity for the IRS. So I'll leave you alone. You got to do it the right way by go to fear-mongering.org. Again, you go there on there, and you go on the right, on the top right side, right, third item, for yourself from tax withholding. Click on that. Okay.
Okay, real quick. Now, is that something that has to go to my employer?
Any other questions you got, Dylan?
Yes, I was going to ask you the forms. I'm going to get on and look at them, but they have to go. My employer has to sign them, or they have to be given to my employer?
No, you don't. He signs nothing. You just fill it out yourself. Give it to your employer.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir, for everything you do. I appreciate it.
Folks, any questions, call us at 813-444-4800. Call my office. My people will help you.
Okay.
It's on the website, 813-444-4800. Website is freedomlawschool.org. All right?
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Before I get to 818 area code caller, I want to mention that 719 area code caller is waiting after him. So 818 area code caller, give me your first name, how I heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hello, Payman. My name is Nick. I heard about you in 2001 on Rumble. I think it was the Stu Peters show.
Wow. Very good. 2001, you heard about me way back then, over 20 years ago.
Sorry, 2021.
Oh, okay. That makes a difference. Okay, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. And how may I help you?
Yeah, before I ask my question, I wanted to thank you for what you're doing. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
You're a great guy.
Thank you.
So my question was pretty much, I'm in the same predicament as the previous gentleman. So when I heard you say that just filing exempt isn't good enough, I just remembered that I must have skipped that step. So I guess according to what you were saying before, the best remedy is to print out that form, fill it out, and get it to my employer as soon as possible.
That's right. You want to do it properly. Okay, go to our website. On the right, go to Free Yourself from Tax Withholding. Click on that. And the instructions are all right there with the video, paperwork. It's all there, step by step, to make sure you do it right from the get-go to be safe.
All righty. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. My pleasure, Nick. 719 area code caller, you are live with Freedom Law School. Give me your first name. I heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Yeah, this is Mickey. I heard about you about 3 years ago from some guys that I was studying the Cracking the Code book with.
Very good.
Turn me on to you. I haven't filed in about 8 years, trying to follow the intelligent way. And I got a notice from the IRS about, 2023 unclaimed filings. And then I think in February or May, I got a notice of deficiency because I had some investments going on and they listed it. They mentioned all that. Is it time to act on that, or is that I just keep ignoring it like you mentioned on other notices?
No. A notice deficiency is one of the key letters that you should, I recommend almost always, answer and challenge. Here it is. You have 90 days from the time that the notice deficiency is dated to go to U.S. tax court and challenge them. So let's see. If it was done in May, let's see, May 15th would be May, June, July, August. You might have just lost your time or not. What's the date of the letter? What's the deadline to go to tax court, it says on there? Do you have it with you?
No, but I could get it real quick. What part are you looking for, Pamela?
On the front page, on the top right area, it has the date of the letter, and then below that, a few lines lower, it tells you the last date you have to petition a tax court. And you must petition a tax court before that 90 days. Okay? So, do you have the letter right now?
What if it's been beyond 90 days in this case?
I'm sorry?
What if it's been beyond 90 days in this case?
I'm sorry, you messed up.
I was wondering, what if it's been beyond 90 days in this case?
Maybe you could do something at the collection due process hearing. You can maybe challenge that penalty and interest at the time. But right now, there's nothing you can do. And right now, you don't have to worry about immediate collection action because IRS, after sending a series of letters they have to send you, okay, after that, they still have to send, and then they have to take you to the collection due process hearing. So I have on this chart on my screen, step 4 of the IRS, coming after people, non-filers. Step 1 through 3 are just junk mail letters. Step 4, they have to send you several more letters. Okay, step 5, 6, 7, 8. And then they may not go to step 9, final notice of intent to levy and your right to hearing. Then you should ask your hearing within 30 days timely. At that time, any potential challenges you could have to the IRS, tax, penalty, interest, you could do at that time. If the IRS rules against you, you have the right to appeal that to the U.S. tax court. And if they rule against you there as well, you can take that case to the Federal Court of Appeal as well. So that's the process that is ahead of you. If the IRS never sends you a collection due process hearing letter, then after 10 years from the time the tax got determined or fixed, which should be sometime later this year, after 10 years, the tax will 99% of the time just simply expire and go away.
So Freedom Law School can't do anything with it to help me at this point because of this?
Nope. I'm afraid I'm not a magician. I wish I was. But that's why I tell people to join the Restore Freedom Plan right away. Educate yourself on our website for free at freedomlawschool.org. Know this stuff. Then you know basic things like a notice deficiency. You want to make sure you get it and challenge it on time. By the way, this is one reason why non-filers, if you move, you need to send your new address or whatever address you want to choose to send to the IRS. Hey, send mail to me to this address or the other address. Okay, you must do that. And with certified mail, keep proof of it so that the IRS, they must send the notice of deficiency to the last address that you gave them by certified mail. Okay? If you do that, you can challenge them. If you don't and don't get the letter, you'll be in the same situation as Ricky. He didn't challenge him on time. It's the same as him not getting it because he didn't give him a new address. So you must do change of addresses. You must open up your mail, make sure you get it, and then act right away in timely notice deficiency and collection due process hearing are the two of the most critical IRS correspondence that you should respond. Most of the other ones are junk.
Okay, so
yes.
So at this point, it's over 90 days. You say I need the next best thing to do is to wait for their next letter.
You'll get a bunch of next letters. You're gonna get a bunch of next letters that you can ignore if you want to, because it don't matter. Okay. At this point, you're gonna look. Look at my screen. Go to our website. I have this document called Understanding the IRS Progression of Letters, a guide to what to expect for peace of mind. Okay, that's on our website. Okay, we have it under our blogs, don't we? Just look on there. Progression of letters IRS sends out on our search on our website on the top right. Okay, and that page will come up. And call us if you have questions about how to find it on your computer. Call us at 813-444-4800. Okay? All right, my friend. I'm sorry I was able to help you. I'm sorry. I really wish I could. I wish you'd called me a month ago. I really wanted to help you, brother, or 2 months ago, but sorry it didn't happen sooner. Okay? And I'm sorry that Pete Henningsen, with the crack the code, someone got you into that. You know, and he has some interesting, good information, a lot of incorrect information also. But better late than never. Listen, from now on, do it right. From now on, do it the proper way. Don't focus on the past alone. Focus on the future. Stop filing those 10 for income tax confession forms. Stop your employer from stealing your money. If you're a business owner, stop sending the IRS quarterly estimated payments. If you're an employer, stop stealing any money, federal income tax or payroll, from your employees' paychecks. Be forward-looking. Okay? All right, we're going to go online questions because there's no more callers with questions live. We're going to see any online questions, guys, we have to answer. But if you have a question live, call right now, 424-552-1299, and press 1 on your telephone keypad. Again, if you have a question, call 424-552-1299 to get your question answered now. No questions online, guys? We're good? Okay. All right, guys. Thank you for being with me. That's been a lot of calls tonight for summertime, you know. Went for a long time. I love you all, and I wish you all prosperity, peace, joy, and happiness. It happens when you stop being afraid, when you stop being ignorant. Okay? I was ignorant, too. I'm not an ignorant person. I was ignorant of the topic. So you're not an ignorant person here because you're here. You're seeking the truth with Freedom Law School. Continue on your journey. Love the truth. Seek the truth at freedomlawschool.org. As you drive around, listen to our videos. Okay, eat lunch and dinner. Watch them as you're eating. Right? That's a dead time. Use the dead time. Wash the dishes. Listen and watch the videos at the same time. Right? So then you'll be free and prosperous and happy, and you can share that love and wisdom with everybody you love as well to get the benefits and the freedom and prosperity and joy that you get to have. Thank you. I love you all, and I'll be back with you next week.